Welcome back to the Means Report. We appreciate the FEMA information that we received from Nikki, and we appreciate our next guest always. He is Sean Frantom, Commissioner for Augusta's District 7, serving the entire city always, and especially during this crisis. Commissioner Frantom, thanks for coming back. I appreciate all you do.
Absolutely. Great to be here.
All right, so I get a lot of different opinions on social media about how our storm response is going. How about you, as a commissioner, from your vantage point? How are we doing so far?
I think we're doing well. We have to understand this storm was unlike any other.
Yeah.
Even FEMA people have talked about how devastating to see such big trees. Typically you have storms, but not big trees. Augusta had tons of big trees, the entire CSRA, frankly. And we're doing well, but it's going to be a slow process, and people are going to have to be patient for sure.
Let's start with debris piles, because that's the most prominent reminder of this horrible night 4 weeks ago as we taped this on a Thursday. Commissioner, is that moving along like you would like? And is there anything about the debris piles we don't know? In other words, I saw some household trash mixed in with the debris pile. Are y'all seeing stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing fine. I mean, we have over 80 trucks going. I mean, what people have to understand, this is a process. I mean, for us to get reimbursed through FEMA, there's certain processes and procedures that we have to have. And so we have 80 plus trucks going in they're actually in different zones in how they go. It's not fast enough for the people, obviously.
I know.
And again, we don't realize that, I mean, you drive down the street and you can't even see the house because the debris is so high. Mm-hmm. So it's been incredible to see, you know, the devastation of this community. Obviously, we're going to hopefully do 3 passes. At the last pass of picking up debris and things, we'll kind of let the community know where we're at. Right now, we've asked the community not to put out any kind of household appliances or things. Let's stick to the yard debris and vegetation, because that's what we're here to pick up right now. And hopefully we'll keep in communication with the community, understanding that the first 90 days, everything that we do pick up is reimbursable through FEMA. But there is process and procedures we have to go through from a city standpoint.
People are going crazy on social media about cable. Are you okay with the speed at which cable is being restored and internet?
Well, I'm thankful for the representatives that have kind of stepped up, from AT&T that's been on the ground, as well as Comcast. Obviously, there's just a lot of debris. There's a process to this where the power company has to go through first, and then cable comes through. And we have areas in the in the Walton Way Wheeler Road area that don't have AT&T services, and there's a process. They have to rebuild these structures from the beginning. They have to make sure that, you know, once the debris is clear, and then they have to go and look at lines and look at different aspects of things to get them fixed. So it's a process. We hope to be at 99% with Comcast today. And then AT&T is going to be a little bit of process for them, for sure.
You know, you mentioned the dozens of trucks that are rolling to clear the debris. We saw them during the ice storm. Do they target main thoroughfares first so that we can come and go? Walton Way, you mentioned, that's a corridor to the medical district. Shouldn't they be all over that first and foremost?
We're looking at safety areas, obviously major intersections where things can get through. Also fire hydrants. You know, if we had a fire, we got to get the fire department to those hydrants. Today we're actually focused on Walton Way and Wheeler Road heavily, because what we're seeing though is we'll pick up a pile, and then either the homeowner or the construction company they're dealing with will put it right back out there.
Yep.
If anything, you know, keep it out of the road, keep it on the 10 feet right away. We're going to pick it up, but it is going to be a process to get all picked up for sure.
Okay, that's good information. Are you satisfied with the assistance we're getting from outside Augusta? I know you and your fellow leaders have worked hard, but Commissioner, do people outside of this town know what happened to us?
They do. Obviously, what happened in North Carolina seems to got more of the headlines, maybe rightfully so. But, I mean, we've had a truck come from Texas. We've had people come from Tennessee. We've had churches step up like crazy in our community to help the people. We have a donation center currently opening. That'll be open at least through the end of this week to help people. I think we're doing great from that standpoint, but from our perspective, you know, we have people that have lost homes, maybe they have insurance. This is going to be a process. I mean, FEMA's on the ground. They're going to be on the ground for the next year, and they're going to help us where they can, but we're going to have to help our fellow neighbors as well, though.
Have you learned any lessons that might help us in the future to make our town more storm-proof?
I think that though we've done a good job, we got to plug some holes. One of the holes that I feel like is we're going to have to hire an EMA director in the future.
Okay.
Chief Burton's done a good job, but I think as complex as it is, he still has a fire department job as well. I think that we've got to hire an EMA director, and I think we've got to find an EMA center. I think that there's opportunities to partner with local agencies in the future to do this. And I think you will see the future commissions talk about that, having a place where, power stays up and there's a hub. And, the vice president came and she had to go into a room that was very close, it wasn't that big, frankly.
Yeah.
And where we had the EOC headquarters for many weeks. So I think you'll hear that discussion as well.
Let's talk about, I want to ask you one more storm question, then I'll get to a couple more questions. Our time, as I knew it would, is flying. Those monstrous mosquitoes appeared after the storm. How do you feel about our efforts to combat that and get rid of those mosquitoes?
Well, we were a county that believes in spraying. So, we have sprayed. We've gone around. We had to go down major thoroughfares versus going in the backyards like we do typically.
Yeah.
We were behind in spraying by a few months. I do know that. We just recently got a big shipment in from FEMA of bug spray that we'll be handing out in the local community centers and fire stations. So definitely look for that. I think we're not going to do the aerial spray. I know there was a post out there. The aerial spray was coming. The aerial spray is just not going to happen for a few different reasons: cost, image, some EPD things as well.
A couple more questions. One is about hockey. This past week, we got the news that an ice rink would be part of the new James Brown Arena. Okay, so we're going to have ice. Does that mean a hockey team will come?
I feel confident the hockey team's going to come. I said that before the SPLOST vote. I had the future owner, on my Facebook, and we did a post there and had a live chat and everything, and he's committed to this area. I think people are going to be very pleasantly surprised by what they're going to bring from a community standpoint, because you got to have an ice rink as well to practice at, and they've already just put one down in Savannah. Mm-hmm. Looks like the team might start in 2027. I know that's a little bit of time off, but they're committed to this community, and it's going to be exciting for Augusta for sure. All
right, I wanted to leave at least a minute for this, and it's just to ask you personally. It's late October now. I don't know if I'll get to interview you again before your term ends. You've been such an incredible public servant. What happens to you in January, and how do we find out what's going on in our community?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I'm in the middle of this, trying to make sure that I'm being that beacon of light to get information out for people, because people are suffering. Not sure. I'll see where it takes me. I just know I've enjoyed this job. I've enjoyed representing the people. It's in my heart to serve. You do this for serving, not for the notoriety and all that. And so we'll see. It's tough. It's going to be tough for me, though. I'm not going to lie. This has been the longest month of my life, but the most rewarding month of my life as well. To help people in ways that I've been able to help people this month has been awesome. You're not getting to just quietly wrap up your term? Not at all. It's okay, though. Well, tell your wife and your family thanks for loaning you to us for your terms in office, and I'm sure for your life going forward, because you do have that public servant passion in you. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Sean Frantom, Commissioner from District 7. One of the folks who's helping us get through these tough times. When we come back, how you can help us get more great guests like Commissioner Frantom and like Nikki Gaskins-Campbell. It's easy to do. We will show you when the Means Report continues.